Okay, to be clear, I'm not talking about every band like Glitter Green and Chispa. This isn't about how many Bang Dream bands there are, the question is how many major Bang Dream bands there are. Within the Bandori franchise, there's a distinction that can be made between the main bands and side bands or spin-offs. So like, which bands are which? How many main bands are actually in the Bang Dream series? No really, I promise this is an interesting question. I'm assuming you know what Bang Dream is. If not, then this video isn't for you. Anyways, you might say, that's an easy question. There's 8. Poppin' Party, Afterglow, Pastel Palace, Roselia, Hello Happy World, Morphonica, Razor Solen, and Mygo. Well, there's 9 including Ave Mujica. 10 including Yumamita. Just you giving 3 different answers proves that this question is more complicated than you think. I'm Jan Anselo, and how many major Bang Dream bands are there? Part 1. The Design Philosophy. This video was inspired by Jan Misali's How Many Super Mario Games Are There series, where Jan Misali does the same thing but for Mario games. The idea started when my Let's Settle this poll, where I asked people which out of Mygo, the A side bands Ave Mujica, Mita, and Stray Stride do they consider part of Bandori. I liked the idea and I wanted to get a fuller picture, so I made the How Many Major Bandori bands Are There poll. However, I missed a few bands like the bands Mary plays for and the China band shuffle bands that came out after. And also, there were only 25 responses. 26 now, a new response has been submitted in November. So I improved the poll by making how many major Bandori bands are there now poll, which also got 25 responses. I did mess up a few times, like putting the description for Raise Under Fusion Rising, not putting in Phantom Myers' name, and adding disruption in twice. Anyways, here's how the poll works. For each band, you have to choose whether you think is a major band, a minor band, a spin-off, or not part of Bandori, with an optional option if you are unsure which category to put it in. The order is randomized so people wouldn't be biased for the bands that appeared earlier, and I added a little description and an image. Unfortunately, I did not ask them to define what a major Bandori band is, nor did I put links to the Bandori and Organ Novice for these. For the record, the band that I consider to be the main bands are, in order, Poppin' Party, Afterglow, Pastel Palace, Roselia, Hello Happy World, Morphonica, Razor Solen, Mygo, Organ Novice, Gyro Axia, Phantom Iris, Fusion, Rising, and Epsilon 5. Once Ave Mujica gets added to the game, I'll also add in them as well as Stray Stride and Mugandai Moon Pirates to the list. Part 4. The original 5, or 7. 100% of the participants says that Poppin' Party was the main Bandori band, which was to be expected. Bandori without Poppin' Party was like most Super Mario games without Mario. The only other bands to get this treatment are Afterglow and surprisingly Raze and Morphonica. Yes, I pronounced the acronym for Razor Solen as Raze and not Ras. With those two being newbies, I would have thought some people would rank them as something else, but since they're been in the game for 5 years or so, they have been fully accepted in the girls band party. For Pastel Palace and Roselia, both have one person who said they were simply a minor band, so not the same person. Like, I get Pastel Palace, but why would you put Roselia, who has a real-life counterpart on minor band, if you rank Afterglow and Paspa, who don't, as a main band? The most confusing statistic is Hello Happy World, who not only has 2 people vote for them as minor, but has one band rank them as a spin-off? Even more confusing is that for the rest of the Absorb team, plus Ave Mujica and Yumamita, they rank them as major. My best theory is that it was a misclick. Part 2. Mygo, and also Ave Mujica. As I'm writing this section somewhere in September, Mygo has just been released on EN, so the current consensus won't quite match up with the results of the poll. Anyways, here are the results of Mygo. An overwhelming majority said that Mygo was a major band. Mygo was already in JP servers for an entire year, and now it's on EN servers. Okay, but what about Ave Mujica? As you can see, it's the same distribution, except for one person saying that it's not part of Bandori, and it isn't. Yet. There is a chance that they'll be coming to the game once the Ave Mujica anime releases. They're already planning to add Ave Mujica as in the song into the game, but for now, my consensus is that it's a minor band that plays a key role in Mygo's story. For now. Part 3. Double A side. Moving that double A side, pun absolutely intended, here we have the From Organovis band. I'm including these guys since the Organovis project used to be a part of Bandori before splitting apart and doing its own thing. Even though they are no longer part of Bandori, they still deserve a mention. As you can see, All of them have similar distribution, where the most voted option is that they are not part of Bandori, with spin-off band coming in at a close second. Argonavis and Gyroaxia do seem to have slightly more people vote for it as a major band, and then there's Fusion Rising. Stray Stride also follows this distribution. I was expecting it to differ slightly, as they were only added to Argonavis after it split from Bandori. So I guess this was just too small a sample size to tell. Okay, a bit of a side note. As I'm recording this, the game that Argonavis is on has ended the server, so they're technically no longer in a game. This will be important later. Part 5, Human Meta. There is one other band in the 16 that I might consider as major, and that is the VTuber band. Boundary by its occasional play has no connection to the rest of the franchise, despite appearing in talk shows with the rest of the band girls. It's its own separate project. It's highly unlikely that they will be added to the game anytime soon. Anyways, here are the results. A lot of people seem to agree that it should be counted as a spin-off, although in close second to Super Music is the major band. It's quite surprising that more than a quarter of Super Music is part of the main group, and it brings up a major question somewhat related to the main question of this video, and that is... Part 7. Giving a definition. If you ask someone to give a definition of what a main Bang Dream band is, they'll probably say something like, a band whose members are playable in the mobile rhythm game Bang Dream Girls Band Party, and I'd agree with them. However, it doesn't account for what I consider a main band. Before September 17, 2024, it was unclear whether MyGo counted since they were only available like everywhere else, I think. And Argonavis is not accounted for at all. The definition I think best describes my grouping is a band whose members are playable in any version of a mobile rhythm game that is currently or formerly affiliated with a Bang Dream franchise. Any version accounts for pre-EN MyGo and formally accounts for a double A-side band. If I wanted to include Ave Musica in this definition, I'd probably change it to something like a band whose members are playable or plan to be playable. Human Meta throws this definition into the window. They aren't in the game and have no intention of being added to the game as far as we know. Since Stray Stride also didn't appear in Argonavis from Bang Dream, even though they aren't from Argonavis, they were never actually affiliated with Bang Dream, not to mention that Kimi Stay, the game do appear in, is not a Risk game, and also because it's no longer in service. If I wanted to add them into the definition, I have to change it to a band from the Bang Dream project or any other franchise currently or formerly affiliated with it, who either appeared as playable characters in mobile rhythm game in this franchise or performed live, which accounts for MyGo before they were added to the game, and also Ave Musica. Obviously, everyone has their own definition of a main band. This is just me trying to define what I think is a Bang Dream band. Anyways, back to showing poll results. Part 9, something along the lines of Glitter Green. These are the bands that I wouldn't consider as major, but play a very important role in the story. Glitter Green, Chispa, Sumimi, Crychick, and Vivid Canvas. All of these have the majority vote for minor band, and apart from Glitter Green, have a good people say they are not part of Bandori. Then we have Crychick, where 2 whole people said they are on the same level as Poppin' Party and the others. There are a few other notable bands in this category, specifically the bands that no longer exist but have affected or even inspired fun of the band. This is the part where I did a hiatus on writing the script for 2 or 3 months, and then came back to write the script, and then everything I wrote after the hiatus mysteriously disappeared from the script, so I had to rewrite this from scratch. Man, I am never gonna finish this script. Just as a side tangent, obviously since you're watching this video, I have finished the script. Anyways, these bands include Yuna's Dad's Band, Marina's Band, and Death Galaxy, all which have roughly the same distribution. Marmalade and Rocket's X Band also have similar distributions, but with a few more people voting for minor band. Part 10, Band Shuffles and Beta Theory. This section is for when none of the answers I have given really fit. My main case in point for this section are the bands featured in the 3 band shuffles, and to my surprise, all of them have the exact same distribution. Well, almost. There was a guy who answered the main band in all of them except for the Chinese band shuffle band. Yeah, I just realized it's not the exact same distribution. There are some slight variations that I didn't notice. To be fair, as one person put it, I was better off grouping all the band shuffle bands together. They're all gonna be in the same category. And it's annoying to pick the same answer for all of them. But I was hoping that the 3 winners would have a slightly different distribution since they have action songs, or at least in the case of songs that cannot be broken, going to have action songs. There are also the parallel vocal groups, but I forgot to add them into the poll. Also, there's a Circle Thanks party formed during the 5th anniversary event, which is pretty much just everyone. Anyways, the other band in this section is the Beta
version of Poppin' Party. This is literally just another version of Poppin' Party, so the question I should have been asking isn't is this a main band, but is this a separate band from Poppin' Party? In terms of Mario games, it's asking whether Super Mario 64 and Super Mario 64 DS are the same game. One is a remake of the other, but both differ massively in content. As you can see, a lot of people said it was a major band, which I'm pretty sure this is the people's way of communicating that they consider this the same band as Poppin' Party. Part 11. Crossovers. As of December 16th, 2024, the time I'm writing this part of the script, and December 21st, 2024, the time I'm recording this part of the script, there is a change of manga, which is fitting for this section. Anyways, Bang Dream has a lot of crossovers throughout its time. Some of these groups are groups of people, bands if you will, that exist in a Bang Dream setting, so they're technically Bang Dream bands if you're willing to stretch the definition of what a band is. However, I choose not to, and decide to point out the most blatant and biggest example of this. One that stands out from the other examples. This is Franchocho from Zombieland Saga. What makes it stand out is that A, is they have been mentioned directly by name in the collab event, and most importantly, B, their manager appears in-game fully voiced. That's something, isn't it? Here's the distribution. Also, I just want to talk about the collab between Maiko and Togenashi Kageari from Girls Band Cry. Due to the collab, if I made a poll a bit later, I might have included those guys too. Part 12. Everyone knows. I'm just gonna speedrun this section, okay? Miraculous Garden is the band where the owner of space used to play in. General Consensus, minor band. Magnoli is a background band that appeared in Ghost Band Challenge in Season 3 of the anime. General Consensus, minor band, so not part of Bang Dream comes into section. This band, Mixlink, is Arcana, who is Maya's inspiration as a drum floor. General Consensus, minor band. Races is a beta exclusive band in which Arisa's father used to play in. It serves as the inspiration for Poppin' Party in this time, and is where Yes Bang Dream comes from. General Consensus, not part of Bang Dream. The band where Sayo was in before Roselia. General Consensus, minor band. Tiana and Submarina are bands first present in the Argonautic franchise, with Tiana being Dennis' dad's band and Submarina being Master's band. General Consensus, not part of band. These three bands are bands that Umir plays with. General Consensus, minor band, so me accidentally including Destruction twice end up skewing things for it. Okay. Part 13. Interpreting the information. So, here's how I would summarize this information. There are 9 bands where the overall majority is that it's a major band, which aligns with most of the fans' belief. In addition, there are 5 bands which aren't considered main, as they do not exist as playable characters, or plan to exist as playable characters. But they do have a major role in the story. These are the minor bands. There are also a bunch of smaller bands like Venus Dad's band, which are much more divided and controversial. Marmalade and Ruckus X band fall somewhere between these 2 categories. And finally, the spin-off band, which includes all the band shuffles and also Human Meta. And that, my friends, settles it. Or does it? This is not my personal view. I already started my personal view in part 1. This video, just like for the Mario game video, merely aims to present the range of options available to you, so you can decide for yourself how you want to classify these bands. And to hammer in my point, let me present you one final answer to this question. Get ready, cause this section is a doozy. Part 6, Bang Dream Set Theory. Sorry about that. I got a bit too excited to say that. Anyways, I'm borrowing this concept a little bit from the Super Mario game video. The idea is that one Bang Dream band can belong in 2 subgroups of Bang Dream bands, without one group being contained in the other. Take Mago for example. It can be both the 8th band of the Girls Band Party and the 1st band of the Spygo series. Or even if you consider the Argo Pro main band, you might consider the Trace Star one, even if it's also an Argo Pro band. All these different groups can overlap with elements being shared with them without being fully contained with one another. Fun fact, this original script for this section was gonna claim that all these subjects have varying levels of mainness, but that was so stupid so I cut it out. Anyways, let's just jump into Part 8, Conclusion. So, what have we learned? Bang Dream is a colossal and highly successful multimedia franchise, and there's a group of 7 or 8 bands which exist at the core of this franchise, or at least a certain mobile game in the franchise. Despite this, there are many ways to categorize the main characters of the overall franchise, whether you include VTubers or a franchise that used to be a sub-franchise of this franchise, or a certain band which hasn't been added to the game but may or may not be added into the future. This is the end of the video, but who knows, I might remake this poll sometime in the future with a bit more bands, so I might wait until something new appears in the Bang Dream franchise. But even then, I wonder how the results would change now that Mai goes on the end and the Ave Musica anime is just around the corner. maybe I won't make a bajillion mistakes in creating the poem this time. I've been Jan Ansela, and Poppy Pa, People Pa, Poppy Papa, People Pa!